Hey everyone, welcome to Tim's Vinyl Confessions. I'm Tim Durling. My wife Sarah is here again, and it is episode number two of our Fleetwood Mac deep dive, talking about my latest book, The Sound That Haunts You, a beginner's companion to Fleetwood Mac, available on Amazon. So we are going through all of the Fleetwood Mac studio albums, just like I do in the book. And we are still very much in the early period, the early blues boom period of Fleetwood Mac. So we're here to talk about their second album, which came out in 1968. So two albums in the same year. Their first album came out in February. This came out in August. So very prolific. It's called Mr. Wonderful. So we have a skeletal looking Mick Fleetwood here. And you don't get the full effect with just the front cover. So we've got, I assume this was a gatefold. So here he is, covered up, Adam style by nature. He has, again, no qualms about doing these bizarre album covers. So yeah, this very much picks up where the first album left off, with a few differences. One main section is that there are some songs on here that use a horn section, which is one way of differentiating, between just your standard 12-bar blues songs, a lot of which were on the first album, and there's still evidence of it on here. But the song Rollin' Man in particular features a sort of a lively horn section. And also it's the first appearance of any keyboards or piano on a Fleetwood Mac album, and they are played by one Christine Perfect, who would later marry John McVie and become a full-on member of the band. But from here on, she's on just about every Fleetwood Mac album. It's just it takes a few albums before she's credited as
I was just gonna say,
a band member.
There's no songwriting credits here.
No, and at this point, she was also a member of another blues boom band called Chicken Shack, which I'm not overly familiar with. But as far as the Mr. Wonderful album, this was, as I said in the last episode, was not initially released in the U.S. or North America, I assume. Instead, they got the English Rose compilation. But so a lot of the songs are they have it in common. So the first song on this album is one of the better-known Peter Green Fleetwood Mac songs, Stop Messin' Round. If you're a fan of Aerosmith, you're very familiar with this song. Joe Perry would often sing it in concert, and Aerosmith did a version of it on their blues covers album that came out in 2004, charmingly titled Honkin' on Bobo. And his version, if you've heard Aerosmith's version, it's very similar. It's a blues song. It's upbeat.
Clifford Adams, sorry.
Yeah, so this is funny. Clifford Adams was Fleetwood Mac's manager. He did not write. He's got songwriting credits on a lot of Peter Green songs, but that was merely a business arrangement. And yeah, there's more to come about that guy. He's mainly responsible. You've heard me talk about the fake Fleetwood Mac, as a la the fake Deep Purple. Well, anyway, that's all. So that's a good start to the album. Rollin' Man, I mentioned before, is a really good one. It's really lively and upbeat. There's another Elmore James and Robert Johnson cover on here because they both did variants of this, and this is what is confusing about the blues covers to somebody like us who are not blues aficionados.
No,
very much. I mean, I realize that all music that I like wouldn't exist if it weren't for the blues. I get it. So
no, and I like some of it.
So it's just I just don't know enough about it to. There's a real good example of how it really sounds similar to me at times, but at any rate, there's a song on here called "Dust My Broom." Very popular blues song. If you're a ZZ Top fan, they did it on their 1979 album "DeGueo." It's been recorded under different names. It's sometimes it's called "I Believe I'll Dust My Broom." And there's different versions of the lyrics. It's called. There's so many different versions of it, and it's like traditional songs. They evolve over time, so it just depends on whose version you're going for. So I'm assuming by the songwriting credits, they're somewhere in between Elmore James and Robert Johnson's rendition of this album. If you like the sort of blues lyrics, that are sort of blunt and to the point, then you'll enjoy a song called Lazy Poker Blues. It's not terribly deep, let's put it that way.
It doesn't have to be deep. It's all about feeling, really. That's
nobody, I really, most people don't listen to blues for the lyrical content. They listen for the guitar playing and the the vocalizing, and it is pretty much the same lineup on this album as Peter Green, Jeremy Spencer trading off vocals and guitar. Jeremy Spencer plays awesome slide guitar. We're gonna have Ellie here with us here in a second.
I thought we just...
Our beautiful little Ellie. Our lapdog Ellie.
She's grown a lot.
Hello. She's a big girl now. Yeah. But yeah, this, it's really picks up where the first album left off. But there's one example here where I really have a hard time differentiating. So there's a song called Dr. Brown that ends side 1. Now that is a cover. J.T. Brown, W. Glasgow, or Buster Brown are credited for that song. Then you flip the record over, or whatever you're listening to, and then there's a Jeremy Spencer original called Need Your Love Tonight. I can hardly tell those two songs apart. They're the same tempo and they're in the same key. So yeah, this is really where I struggle with this early material, but I am trying to learn more about it because it's a fascinating listen, because again, we are talking about a band called Fleetwood Mac, and again, it's nothing at all like the band that they would become.
But everyone has to start from somewhere.
Yeah. So along the same time, of course, is the UK counterpart to the English Rose compilation, which came out
But it was a year later.
It was a year later in 1969, because Mr. Wonderful did come out in the UK, I'm assuming. So I'm not really sure. Basically, this leaves off songs that were on Mr. Wonderful, unlike English Rose. Anyway, it was called the Pious Bird of Good Omen. If you're a fan of Samuel Coleridge, you'll know where that line came from. Very interesting album cover, kind of frightening. But you can see the back album cover. It's got both of the Fleetwood Mac albums to date pictured, the first album and Mr. Wonderful. So this has a variety of songs on it.
It says there's B-sides.
Yeah, B-sides and some standalone singles, including ones I already talked about, like Albatross and Black Magic Woman. Now, there are a couple songs in here from previous albums. There's Looking for Somebody from the first album, and there's Stop Messing Around from Mr. Wonderful, also Coming Home from Mr. Wonderful. Another song that's on here is a really good blues ballad that's been done by a lot of different people. It's a song by Little Willie John called Need Your Love So Bad. And to give you an idea how widespread the appeal of this early Fleetwood Mac was, Whitesnake do a version of Need Your Love So Bad. It's actually just keyboard and Coverdale singing, but it was a B-side off of one of the singles they put out in '84. So just the influence is there.
Well, I was just going to say that a lot of the music that you really love has deep ties.
Yeah.
To like blues.
Yeah, not least
blues roots.
Not least of which Led Zeppelin, because at the point that most of these songs were recorded, the first Led Zeppelin album hadn't even come out.
No, but it's not even, Led Zeppelin, I feel like, would be more of a direct.
Yeah.
In a lot of ways, but you talk about Aerosmith, Bad Company, some of the vocals even, and Coverdale, like Whitesnake, definitely.
Well, David Coverdale and Paul Rodgers have similar type,
yes. So the influence is there, all over the place, I would say. Even ZZ Top, I hadn't really thought about that, but...
Yeah, ZZ Top were interesting because nobody really calls them a blues band because they have their own sound, but a lot of it is blues-based. So there you go. That's what we that's what we've got to say about the second Fleetwood Mac album, Mr. Wonderful, because it's still very much in that blues boom period, and it's early days. And again, the versions I've got of these on CD come from the Complete Blue Horizon sessions, which is a great box set. It basically covers everything from that period. But yeah, it's just more of that education, like research into what would become one of the biggest bands in the world. But in their earliest incarnations, it was a very, very different thing.
I'm just looking at your Wikipedia notes here. Like the reaction to the album, the Pious Bird of Good Omen, were highly positive at the time, and it was described as excellent by a Rolling Stone album guide, and ranked the album in the 20 greatest blues albums in this period,
1967 to 70. Yeah.
So that's pretty high praise, I would say. Oh, Kirwan is on.
Okay, so Danny Kirwan at some point joined Fleetwood Mac. So
Must have been in that year.
So he would have been, let's see, track of 1 4. So he's on Need Your Love So Bad, The Big Boat with Eddie Boyd. Again, we're getting into that blues, the Chicago blues album they did, which is even more confusing. There's a lot to take in, but I really tried to cover just about every officially recorded song on a Fleetwood Mac album or compilation or single. So this book is available through Amazon. Really excited to bring it to people, and thanks for sitting in once again, honey.
Oh, I'm just here.
Hope you enjoyed this episode of our Fleetwood Mac deep dive. We're going to keep on going. We got a lot of albums to talk about. We'll see you later. Thanks for watching Tim's Vinyl Confessions.